Alright, hello everyone, this is Nitro. So, the Apex top 16 matches are going to begin soon, so let's see how that goes. Oh boy. Let's see. Do I really have to hide people? Can't believe I'm actually having trolls on my channel now. In any case though, alright, so let's see. So, by popular, I guess, demand, I'll be going over the match between Situation and DesuLife. Surprisingly, DesuLife has less people voting for him than Situation. So, I'm probably gonna put all my tickets into DesuLife. And we'll see how this goes. Alright. So I just threw 6 tickets into DesuLife and hopefully he will win. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Do I think any underdogs will take this? I don't think so. Once you get to the top 16, you know, all the people have very, very good items and enchants. So I don't feel like underdogs have any real chance in being victorious at this point in stage. So, right now it's just waiting for the matches to begin. In the meantime, I'm just gonna see if there's any events I have to do. Nope. So another minute till the battles begin, and we'll see how it goes. Kind of excited to see this match because, you know, DesuLife is someone I used to partner up with a lot for doing joint battles. Right? We used to chat quite a bit. And you know, the first few seasons he wasn't too into Apex yet because he didn't have the proper setup yet, but now that he does, you know, he's been consistently at the top of the rankings in general, and you know, he's very into the Langrisser tournament, the fan held tournaments, having been champion I guess for 2 of them from what I recall. So I do think DesuLife is one of the players who has a very high chance of possibly winning, like winning it all. So we'll see how it goes. As I said, I'm very, very surprised that DesuLife has fewer A tickets than Situation. I mean, Situation should be one of the streamers, right? From what I recall. So that might be why he's more well known than DesuLife. So that might be why the votes were the way they were. Alright, I'm going to spectate this match. And let's take a look. Banter. Maybe I'll just turn it off. So your body count is up there with killmongers. How about you come take a look at some real numbers? Might just double up on you while I still slumber. I'm the living proof, I'm just coming through for the thrill of it. Room full of all-stars. Underdogs. Yeah. It does look like the underdogs had a lot more votes than DesuLife, who is not an underdog at all. But frankly, I have not been keeping track of this season of Apex, so I'm not too sure who is who. Full disclosure, I mean, I was busy with work, as I mentioned in my community announcement, so I just really haven't been paying attention to the playoffs this season. But let's see how this one goes. Wow. There's another minute and 30 wait after they both verify? don't actually remember this. Nope. Regardless, let's take a look at the boxes, right? So DesuLife has swapped in Claret as well as Chafaniel. Interesting. Right? I mean, Claret as another faction buffer. Sorry, Chafaniel as another faction buffer for Claret. I guess that kind of makes sense in the situations where Landius is banned, I suppose. It's a very interesting box, that's for sure. I'm going to say it's a very good box too. Like, Claret is one of the characters I really do wish I had built up. But I just never had a chance to. So, and I think with her 3C now released, she is a very, very powerful single target striker that can wipe out tanks. So it makes sense to put her in the box, at least for on DesuLife's side. And other than that, all the other characters are pretty AoE focused. Gizeroff, Reen, Chafaniel, Licorice, Bozal. This box is, you can basically say this is my box, except he has Claret and I have Arianrod instead. That's basically the difference. Both sides, or sorry, and then on situation side, actually, DesuLife has Claret instead of Ares, and he has Chafaniel in the box, which I don't. I have Arianrod. On the other side, Situation's box is this actually? No, it has Yusuke. I ran the box that he's running for a bit. Yusuke just does not work, flat out. We'll see, but I think the Yusuke, if DesuLife takes full advantage of that Yusuke in the box, he has a big advantage. Well, thanks, Zuko. I actually don't feel like I put in the maximum amount of work into that one, but I tried to make it a shorter one overall. 3 heroes, 24 minutes or so, as opposed to, 1 hero in like 40 minutes. Granted, those 40-minute videos tends to be because of battle examples, but still. But yeah, glad you found that one useful. Alright, so let's take a look at the match. So Juggler ban, Zerda ban, Reen ban, pretty much expected. DesuLife begins with Landius, well, Landius on both sides. And DesuLife played Bozal second, while Situation has had Juggler banned along with 2 healers. So Liana and Waller were both banned. Interesting. So now DesuLife loses Lestel and Gizeroff. Very interesting. He's allowing a Bozal plus Licorice combo for DesuLife. Not really the smartest choice. At least that's how I feel. But let's see. So DesuLife now has the ban. Reen, I feel, would be a top priority. The other character is more open. It's interesting that DesuLife is allowing Sophia through of the 3 healers, right? But I guess Sophia is probably the I don't know, like, I mean, I really enjoyed playing Sophia during my season. I feel like Waller is probably the least useful of the 3. I could be wrong, but my experience has been Waller is the least useful. I like Dark Faction. I don't like Albedo's lack of counterattack against ranged targets. Yeah, so DesuLife did it exactly as I expected. Licorice next, right? And the bans were... Actually, he didn't ban Rain. Interesting. He went for Deedlit and Zerda. Is he that confident about facing off against Reen? I'm very surprised here. He's allowed, I mean, Situation has the opportunity to play both Listel and Reen. Heal reversals are pretty darn nasty, aren't they? Yeah, so there's Reen played. DesuLife still has the opportunity to play a lot of healers and whatnot, right? Sophia just got banned. So let's see what DesuLife picks at this point. Okay, so Ares and Licorice ban. Okay. Liana healer. Okay. Right. Ability to dispel. Possibly drop the summon to do even more dispels. Now, the question is, does Situation also play Listel after Reen? That's what I would do at this point. Throw in both Reen and Listel together. So, DesuLife loses Shafaniel and Hobo. Okay. Claret and Wilder are left. So, allowing Claret through Situation. Interesting. Is Situation that confident about his tank being able to survive against Claret? Oh, let's see. I mean, there are battle examples of Albedo. I don't know, like, frankly speaking, I haven't really seen very many battle examples of Albedo winning matches. I mean, and ultimately tanks are just tanks. They're there to absorb hits. So, I don't know. They're not a determining factor. Anyways, so, interesting. Wowler. Double healer for DesuLife. And Situation plays Yusuke. Interesting. So Situation did not go for Listel. Why? I'm not sure I agree at all about the Yusuke play. Liana is there for gospel, and Wilder is there for healing. You know, like, I don't know. Well, we'll see how this plays out, I guess. I would have, if I were Situation, I 100% would have played both Reen and Listel. But let's see how this plays out. Looking at this right now, the fact that DesuLife has two healers is kind of awkward. As for Situation, I think Yusuke is going to be rendered useless. So, a huge part of it, but Situation does have Reen and Hobo with Sophia. So, the AoEs from Reen and Hobo with the Sophia Rewind and, I guess, effective faction buff could change this up quite a lot. Let's see how this plays out. I think Clock's activations will be very important in this fight. Yeah, that is... yes, but I just don't agree with the Wilder pick per se. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't feel like two AoE attackers by themselves is enough. I mean, granted, he does have Liana for Act Again, so technically he can launch out 3 AoEs in one turn. But, yeah, I don't know. If DesuLife had another AoE, like a third one, then he could launch out 4 AoEs in one turn, right? Fair. Skipping out on Claret because of Hobo. Okay, yeah, I can kind of understand that. But the flip side is you don't necessarily need to suicide charge Claret in, right? Keep in mind Claret does have, what, 10 movement? So it's not like you need to rush her in to attack the tank right away. You can take advantage of having her attack when you want to. So, I don't know. It would have been very much a question of whether Claret could kill the enemy Landius, to be fair. And since it is a Lancer Landius with that much defense, 704, it might have been impossible for Claret to kill. People are transitioning to Lancer Landius. I mean, look at this, Landius with 17k hit points. I don't think Claret can one-shot it. 17k hit points, 878 defense. What? Like, how? Blood Pact, of course, right? So, I mean, Situation clearly built his Landius for the next season already. Right? This has to be Blood Pact. There's no way you can get 17k hit points without Blood Pact. But, yeah, that was interesting to see. Yes and no. I mean, this is a Blood Pact Landius, and then on this side is, I guess, the traditional Landius, right, with 12k hit points. So, let's see how this one plays out. Even if you kill off the soldiers on this, the heavy Centurions with a melee attack from this Landius, actually killing this Landius himself is good luck. And with actually, the Blood Pact choice is actually fairly smart now that I think about it. It means all of these AoEs will not apply cannot be healed effects on this Landius. So it won't have any problems healing back up. Wait, why did he just randomly launch out? Did he just randomly launch out the Arc Slash? For no reason at all? Okay. I wasn't really paying attention, but it looked like he just randomly tossed out the Arc Slash for no reason. Did he mean to use Spiritual Unification, or did he just do that for the heck of it? That was weird. That was really, really weird. Okay, so yeah, Liana went exactly what I expected as a side note. Right? Act again, summon Sky Archer Gospel. Right? Wowler. Okay, so Wowler is being built for not using high stakes because facing against AoEs you can't use high stakes. So it's a mass heal, regroup, and tactical retreat one, which also makes sense. And finally, slightly interesting on this side is that Landius is not bringing a faction buff, while Sage of the Trees is bringing his faction buff. Not sure I really agree with that, given that Sophia does provide what is effectively a faction buff. But, I mean, it works. Ah, I see. Fair enough. Okay. So just launch out the Arc Slash, and then you have the Spiritual Unification to reduce the cooldown by 1. Okay, fine. So it goes from 3 turn cooldown to 2 turns to 1 turn, so you can launch it out again. Okay. I guess that makes sense. If you plan to not go into Spiritual Unification right on turn 1, then launching out the Arc Slash, which has the 3 turn cooldown, could work, yeah. Fair enough. As I said, I didn't watch any playoff matches this season. I've been too busy with work. With regards to silencing Sophia, I don't think it's possible. I'm pretty sure this Sophia has Sorcerer's Medal. Right? That's why it has a skill increase. And that's why it has such high defense and magic defense, with only 1000 int. So this should be a Swordsmith Sophia, meaning she's immune to both fixed damage and to silencing. It looks like a Swordsmith Green, Swordsmith Sophia, right? Sage of the Trees is just whatever, probably a Holy Ring, I'm guessing, for immunity to silence. Blood Pact Landius, and a Yusuke with skill increase. Is that also a Swordsmith Yusuke? Probably. Possibly. Interesting. Well, it doesn't surprise me that there's that many Swordsmith medals, frankly. At their tier, it's pretty normal. Oh, breeze buff for Landius. The Tenyo's headdress kicking in. Well, this will be an interesting battle to see how well or how poorly Wilder will be used in this match for DesuLife. Jonathan. I have a guildmate who has like 7 apparently, so it's just RNG. But realistically, almost anyone who gets deep into the playoffs will have multiple swordsmiths. And of course, keep in mind that there was the first anniversary that you choose an SSR of your choice, right? So most people chose a swordsmith for that one too. You did have to pay $20 for it, but as we can see from both sides, well, as we can see from Situation side, he has lots of Echoes of Lights. So the $20 is not that much for him. Yeah. I think everyone is missing some gear. I'm missing lots of accessories. Let's continue to see how this continues to play out. So, I mean, this is pretty much expected for the early game. Both sides are holding back, waiting for the map to slowly decrease, right? They have to wait for the map to decrease before they can really engage. On DesuLife's side, he's definitely waiting for the spiritual unification to wear off. On Situation side, I'm actually not quite sure why he's waiting. I mean, Situation's team is a burst team, right? Yusuke has a 3-turn limit, and Rin has also has a 3-turn limit, but it's already been used for a few turns. So very much Situation is the team that has to push in, while DesuLife can wait. I'm not sure. Well, regardless, I didn't get this far, so at the end of the day, you know, we'll see how this plays out. You didn't miss much, McKaiser. I mean, it's just been both teams hanging back. Why is he using his backup? Oh. Because now, yeah, I think he's very much in trouble. Because, look, next turn, Reen's spiritual unification state should be down to 1 turn after this. And then once he gets out of it, he's silenced, right? Right? So, well, we'll see. What's my general strategy against Reen? Don't allow him to be played. Ban him. That's my general strategy. But other than that, the strategy is what you see DesuLife using, which is having enough dispels to remove it. The debuffs. Right. Reen just went in and launched out his first AoE, Fatal Arc Slash, and so Waller just mass heals to remove it. So what DesuLife is doing right now is what you're seeing to counter Reen. If the enemy plays Reen, you have to have enough dispels to remove those debuffs. I guess that's why DesuLife played double healer, right? It renders Reen basically ineffectual. So the situation is launching out the attack, as he pretty much has to. Now, the other interesting thing is, I didn't realize this earlier on, but I just noticed now, he's not bringing any faction buffs at all. Neither Bozal or Licorice has one. It's an interesting choice. I mean, my personal preference has... I guess this is very much a personal preference thing, but my personal preference has been to run Bozal with a faction buff instead. So Bozal brings a faction buff, Earthquake or Black Hole, and Sleep is what I've been running Bozal with. But DesuLife chose to run no faction buff and bring more AoEs to benefit from clocks, I suppose. It's not exactly a terrible choice. Right? Each AoE does less damage, of course, but you can launch out with clocks a lot more. So, ooh, did Breeze plus? Oh, Yusuke just got +3 mobility. That's not good news for DesuLife. With this 7 movement charge, Yusuke can run in and wipe out this Waller. There's no way for Waller to get into the guard range of Landius right now. Yep, and there goes Waller. Or not! Holy crap! Waller just tanked the hit from Yusuke. Actually, that's not too much of a surprise. This Yusuke is the Swordsmith Yusuke, as I mentioned, right? So it doesn't have maximum attack. That might just be the winning action right there. So now Yusuke is so far ahead he can't get guarded. I think that's so, yeah, I think that is it. Although that wasn't what I was expecting. He's striking the back group instead with debuffs. Oh right, Sophia with mass resist counters sleep. Right, immunity to stun. Fair point. In that case, yeah, he could have brought Black Hole Earthquake and faction buff or whatever. But you never know, right? If you get rid of Sophia early on or silence Sophia or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, but no, that's a good point. That Sophia with mass resist does counter the sleep skill. Although, again, not necessarily, because right now, for example, Bozo can use sleep on, let's say, Yusuke, right? So that's why I was saying I'm surprised he chose to Earthquake the back group. Dark Despair. That takes out the first life on Sage of the Trees. Sage of the Trees cannot be healed and lost his first life. He's pretty much toast. Just like that. And Liana has the ability to act again too, right? So it's not... Yeah, this is a really, really good situation overall for DesuLife. I mean, everything is going for him right now. Right? There's also no... I mean, Yusuke also used up Dark Tinker, and it's on cooldown for sure. Right? So 4-turn cooldown, so it's out of the fight. And yeah. One, two, three, four. The skill has 3 range. Actually, Wilder is probably dead. Right? With the cannot heal yourself effect, and the fact that Rin can still use Termination / Dawn, there's probably no real way to keep Wilder alive. And so it looks like he's not even going to try. Decided to move Landius forward instead of a little bit back or whatever. Now it's certainly interesting though. I didn't expect the AoEs to basically rip up Sage of the Trees quite that much. And the Blood Pack Landius is showing off its high utility because he doesn't have to be afraid of cannot be healed debuffs. So moving into these kind of Breath of Darkness tiles is not really that much of an issue. I mean, you lose stats, of course. You can get other debuffs, but being immune to cannot be healed is quite useful. Ooh, that was interesting. Moving Liana first. Why? Because of Rin, right? If Wilder moves anywhere, Termination / would have killed him. So he could not move Wilder. So he chose to move Liana first to act again. It does get rid of, the chance of using the Sky Archers and whatnot, but not a bad move. So now what does Bozo do? So Clock's activated on Rin. But I keep talking about Rin being a nightmare. There's a tactical retreat. The last dispel from Wilder. And actually, if Wilder dies to the next AoE, he can also dispel 2 more. And then Bozo, yeah, pretty much that's what I expected. Puts Yusuke to sleep. Oh, Rin is also silenced now, right? Remember when I talked about Spiritual Outbreak wearing off? It just happened. So since it wore off, Rin is silenced for 2 turns. And he can't even launch out the AoE. It's over. DesuLife won. Without the AoE, Wilder can't be killed now. Oh, that was interesting. Suicided this Summon Sky Archer. Was that intentional or a mistake? He could have moved it up and then done that, so that was odd. Well, nonetheless, now Liana has to move. And Gospel. I mean, I think that was a mistake, but it should be a fairly minor one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a mistake, but it's not a fatal one, for sure. Yep, down goes Yusuke. And now that Rin continues to be silenced for another turn, Rin is screwed too. Sage of the Trees managed to retreat back. I'm very surprised Situation is not surrendering here. That's what I would do in this kind of situation. Well, DesuLife can just have 2 single target strikes on Rin and kill him. Right? Bozo single target, then Licorice single target, or reverse that. Licorice single targets Rin first, then Bozo single target, and Rin should die. Because this Rin doesn't have a high magic defense. It has really high defense, but no real magic defense. In fact, he can attack with 3 different characters, you know? Bozo, Licorice, and Wilder can all attack this Rin. Yeah, there's the first attack. Oh, another silence. Interesting choice, Soul Stealer headdress. I mean, it's not a... I think actually, never mind, that is pretty normal, right? Soul Stealer headdress on Bozo. So, Licorice, move down here, single target. Yep. Oh! Or maybe I'm very much underestimating fully upgraded Steel Wing Warriors. Because they do have very, very high magic defense. Huh. Wow. The soldiers just tanked 3 hits in a row. That's crazy. And now Landius can move into guard. Yep. What debuff was applied? Damage dealt decrease. Group. Alright, so Rin can launch out AoEs again. Oof. But DesuLife's Landius kills off the other Landius. Yes, I'm actually not sure why Situation is continuing this fight. It was over a while ago. This is usually where, as I said, I mean, once Yusuke failed to kill Wilder, it was already over there. I would usually surrender at that point, but I
気づかない。
don't know. I mean, if situation feels like the fight is worth continuing, you can keep going.
計画通りだ。
Debuff hell continues. But the Swordsmith immunities to silence just kicked in there. Right, Soul Stealer headdress was blocked. Oh. And this... I don't think DesuLife realized that. I think DesuLife wanted to actually attack Landius, and it ended up hitting this Rin instead. Right? Because it's a Blood Pact Landius, it can get mobility debuffed. So, I really think he wanted to use Licorice just now to target Landius and probably wipe him out. But it didn't go that way. Regardless though, I really don't see situation coming back from this. Unless somehow Rin applies some crazy debuffs. But even then, Sky Archer exists for that very reason. Right? Sky Archer will come back, launch out the Dispel, Liana can remove the rest of it. So, I guess DesuLife right now is showing, what is it? DesuLife right now is showing the way to counter Rin, I suppose. A masterclass on how to counter Rin if you allow him to be played. Yeah. Lando is dead. I think even if Lando just moves, right? The fixed damage will kill him. Oh! The suicide of Hobo to dispel, but that won't make any difference in this fight. I mean, yeah. Now Licorice attacks and Landius is gone. I must admit I was kind of surprised Wowler survived the attack from Yusuke though. That was probably the most unexpected part for me. But when you think about it, at that point, Yusuke didn't have, you know, the anger buff and all that stuff. So, and Wowler, after all, Wowler's soldiers are ridiculously tanky. You know, look at that. 14k hit points on the Forest Priest. Because Wowler provides all soldier stats increase of 15%. So, that was probably a very big brain play from DesuLife's side, right? Understanding Wowler much more than Situation does. There we go. Suicide Wowler dispels most of those debuffs as well. And now all the characters can heal before combat. Yeah, Situation finally concedes. He could have conceded a lot of turns ago, as I said. But I can't blame him for playing it out, you know, I suppose. I think Situation expected Rin to do way better than Rin did. Right. But the Wilder Liana combo against Reen was very interesting, I have to say. It ended up being the completely right choice, picking Wilder over Claret. Yeah, that Wilder isn't even 6 stars. That's the other factor. DesuLife's Wilder is 5 stars. Yeah, that was very, very well played from DesuLife. You know, he was definitely a step higher there. As I said though, I would not have allowed Reen through myself, but that was a pretty interesting battle, showing how to counter Reen. I would totally not do it, as I said, but huh. Okay, so DesuLife replaces Claret with Yulia. I noticed DesuLife really, really likes Yulia. Right? I can't say he's wrong, right? Yulia can disable guard and all that. It's just she's limited by a severe lack of mobility. So Juggler bans on both sides initially. DesuLife loses Zerda and Reen. A very traditional ban, I would say. That's what that was. And now DesuLife will pick what to ban. I suppose you can say Desu's suicide of the Summon Sky Archer was a mistake, but at the same time it wasn't a mistake that was fatal at all. He could, by suiciding it, he allowed himself to re-summon the Summon Sky Archer and move it out of range of Reen's Termination Slash or whatever. So you could even say that it was an intended action rather than a potential mistake too. Oh. Anyways, let's see. So DesuLife is using up all his backup time. I don't know why. Is it that hard to pick what he should go for right now? But he's done the same pick ban, right? Ban Juggler, ban Liana and Waller. He's almost out of backup time. And he did the exact same thing he did the first game. I'm not sure why he took up all the time to do that. Fair point, Romania. Yeah. If he suicided Oldius, he could have triggered the triggered it to last longer. You're right. And he could have actually removed a lot of those poison tiles too, right? Because when Hobo dies, he replaces the tiles. But I think that Yusuke charge against Waller already determined the match right there. Alright. So Liana got banned this time, right? DesuLife plays Waller. And I guess because of the Liana ban, Reen got banned for a situation. So actions are very, very logical right now. DesuLife really understands the pick ban, I have to say. He allowed Reen through on purpose because he knew he could bring double healer. And now, since Liana is gone, there's no way he's going to allow Reen through. I think situation is screwed. Just looking at this right now, I don't know, a Zerida? Like, Zerida of all things there? I would have gone Bozol first, right? Bozol or Licorice, and then go from there. Anyways. I mean, Bloodthirster Zerda can probably assassinate Bozol, I suppose. We'll see. Actually, Romania, you realize in order to use Rosenseal properly, you need Clotaire. And in order to use Hilda properly, you need Werner. It's not just a simple matter of pulling for one of the heroes on those banners. If you actually want to use them right away, you need both. So for me, I probably just draw for one. That's what I decided. You have to whale to use them right away. If you don't whale, then you're either going to need a lot of luck or you're going to have to be patient. So you're going to grind up their shards, but you know, wait for the rerun of those heroes to get the other hero. Anyways, so I went completely off topic there. That was something I was going to talk about in my video tomorrow, the Nitro setup video. So let's see. So I was not really paying attention. DesuLife chose to bring Hobo instead of Shafiniel. Interesting. Situation chose to bring Yusuke yet again with Bozo. Why Yusuke? Why ignore Gizarov? I don't understand. He has my AoE team. Oh, actually, what Situation has is the team that I was using and losing 100 times with. Literally, his team that he's running right now is the team that I lost 100 times with before I got into Langrisser rank. So I'm very, very surprised he did not change Yusuke out for another hero as a result. I mean, clearly, ultimately, I guess it worked for him to get this far into the playoffs, right? He's in the top 16. But I still don't understand it. I feel like his box is one that a lot of people can easily counter, right? Yusuke is not really that terrifying. At least not in this season. So let's take a look. DesuLife, same skill choice on Bozo. Faction buff on Sacred Trees with Wave Whisper. Okay. Right, faction buff does buff up Yulia, so you know, Discipline, Godly Menace, Holy Justice. Waller, Mastio, Tactical Retreat, and Dispel this time around. Dispel instead of Regroup. And Landias has faction buff, Peace of Mind, and Dominate. Okay. Situation is running the Zerda I hate. Why? Why? I don't understand. Why don't you bring... Why obliterate? Why not... Why not... You know, move back 3 tiles? The attack and retreat thing. You have Sophia. You don't need a faction buff when you have Sophia. Okay, whatever. So, Bozo on this side also has Black Hole, Earthquake, and Sleep. Yeah, makes a lot of sense with Sophia. Okay. Yusuke, yeah, 2 single targets, Choice Skill, and Psychic Eruption. Just the Zerda not bringing... I just don't agree with the faction buff on Zerda. Because now she has to do that. And it's not like she's faction buffing anyone else either. Very weird skill choice there. Okay, whatever. Unless his Sophia doesn't have her exclusive, but that makes no sense. So this time around, Landias got outpicked again, right? DesuLife brought Heavy Centurions, and Situation brought Templar Knights. So he got predicted once again. So DesuLife has an advantage there with the Langrisser. I don't think it's really a... I don't really think it's a plot twist, to be honest. DesuLife is really, really good. He plays a lot of matches for a reason. And I would say Situation is probably in a situation like me, where he's very familiar with the game, he streams and all that, but he hasn't absolutely mastered everything the way DesuLife has.
And metal shall prevail. For we know what they have done. 5 legends of our realm who sought to follow the path of their dark musings.
Yeah, I'll go into more detail of exactly what Janju said, but I'm actually thinking of... It's gonna be, for me, it's gonna be a wait and see. I'm gonna draw for one of... I'm just gonna draw for one hero on Hilda Warner and see who I get first. There's no way I'm gonna switch to a reincarnation party. But I know some people who will be, like B-Guy. It's pretty much what Janju said. Depending on how many reincarnation heroes you have built, you may want to switch to Hilda faction right away. And of course, Hilda is really good, don't get me wrong, but given that you need to get both Werner and Hilda to use her right away, you don't need to rush it. Unless you're whaling. But, you know, if you have a reincarnation faction box with young Jessica, or Lolly Jessica, sorry, with Lolly Jessica and all that, it could make like a super effective party. Just like that. Actually, all the reincarnation heroes are surprisingly good for PvP. Like, ridiculously so. The worst one might be Rosalia. And even Rosalia is actually really, really good, right? As a holy class single target damage dealer. Well, the interesting thing about this battle is I lost my train of thought just now, but what I wanted to say was the interesting thing about this battle is actually Zerda can't really assassinate anyone on DesuLife's team. Yulia revives, Landius revives, and actually Landius will not die to Zerda in the first place. Hobo revives. Okay? The only characters who can be assassinated are Bozel and Wilder. And both of them are going to be hanging so far back that there's absolutely no chance for Zerda to ever bloodthirst either of them. So that's why that's exactly why I questioned that third pick Zerda. Maya is very underestimated, I have to say. Her ability to dispel buffs, right? Combo that with Ariadne Rod, also dispelling buffs. It's just nasty. As I was saying, like reincarnation, you can actually play a reincarnation box for PvP and be effective. And I don't think there's any other faction where you can be just like, oh, I'm just gonna play one faction with, you know, a few extra tanks and healers and be good. Well, look at that. So, Sage of the Trees used his Wave Whisper to push the characters back a bit and do some damage to them, I guess. and DesuLife is doing the guard against Zerda. Like, and the thing is, DesuLife can do this at any time to protect against Zerda, pretty much. Until the map gets smaller, at which point Zerda will no longer have extreme movement. So, I think DesuLife won this battle. Unless DesuLife makes a major mistake in the play, and I don't expect him to. Like, he really... Yeah, what I should say is DesuLife really did the pick ban to counter what Situation picked. Yeah, from what I know, Roylee was playing Dango's account, right? And Dango was playing Roylee's account, something like that. And meanwhile, once again, Situation's Yusuke is about to wear off the Spiritual Outbreak or Psychic Eruption form, right? So he is going to lose Psychic Eruption and go into the weakened state. DesuLife has all the time in the world to hold back and wait. Did I just see a Breeze activation? Oh no, it wasn't a Breeze activation. It was a mobility buff activation from Wilder onto Bozo. Yeah, DesuLife. Yeah, this battle is very clearly just DesuLife knowing exactly what to do, exactly what to pick and ban against Situation, and Situation was just kind of YOLOing, doing whatever kind of picks of heroes that he felt like playing, and getting hard countered. Right. The first battle was Rin, and now and Rin got countered by double healers. Now we see Zerda, and Zerda's getting countered by immortal heroes. That was interesting. He just opened up the position for Bozo to be attacked, but Zerda doesn't have enough movement to attack, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So there was not even enough movement to reach Bozo in the first place, so opening up that position for Zerda was not an issue. And furthermore, with Bozo having this extra mobility, 6 mobility, it really limits where Zerda can place herself. So DesuLife is just showing his mastery this game, right? Forming the wall, right? Once he got the Breeze activation on Bozo, he then switched strategies to take advantage of it. He's making full use of every bonus or advantage that he can get. Right? And then because of this kind of positioning, Zerda had to move back. And so even though Zerda activated Breeze for the 9 mobility, she can't really benefit from it right now. Actually, I don't understand why Zerda placed herself all the way back here, truthfully speaking. I would have placed Zerda like maybe up here or something to have the chance to attack the enemies. Because as far as I'm aware, actually, I'm certain of this, if Zerda placed herself here, even without Bloodthirster, even without the Bloodthirster activation, if she charged forward and Killing Blowed, she could have killed off Disposal. Pretty sure about that. So, I mean, it would have been a suicide strike, of course. You're suiciding Zerda to kill off Bozo, but that's not exactly a bad trade. But positioning Zerda back here like this, there is no option to trade. So, don't understand that move. Like, I would have 100% traded there, and then you could have Bozo put characters to sleep and whatnot. There is no immunity against sleep in DesuLife's team. So if you can take advantage of Bozo, you have a pretty nice advantage at this point. I don't know. But once again, I'm not sure what Situation's plan is here, or if he's just doing whatever. what I'm seeing repeatedly, and I can't stress this enough, is I'm seeing DesuLife being very methodical. Like, he is fully taking advantage of every action, you know, countering and eliminating situations' bonus advantages. And yeah, and I'm not seeing the same thing coming from Situation. I mean, that mass resist, I suppose you can say it was a counter against Bozol from using sleep. But DesuLife was not going to send Bozol in to sleep someone when Zerda can assassinate Bozol. And really, the smaller the map gets, the better it is for DesuLife. And the worse it is for Situation. The only question I have is... Yeah, actually, I really don't know what the win condition for Situation is in this situation. I'm... Okay, that could change things up. Yusuke can apply cannot be healed on one of these characters now, like Yulia. And then Zerda. I just so disagree with this Zerda. Let's see what happens. This could get interesting. It's not gonna kill. Yep. Situation is overestimating Yusuke. Way too much. Just way too much. That was interesting though, putting the bait Landius in. I mean, at least DesuLife forced the engagement in his own terms, right? But I don't think he had any other choice but to take that sleep attack, and it certainly got Bozol killed. I'm just not sure. Yeah, this Zerda movement is going to bite him in the ass. That's really how I feel. If Zerda was placed up here, as I said previously, and moved in to assassinate Bozol, and then Yusuke can Dark Tincture this Yulia, right? So Yulia can't heal. Totally different fight. We're talking about a totally different fight. But instead, we have this. This is... If I were DesuLife, I'd probably... Yeah, this is an interesting situation. You're going to probably lose Bozol because Landius is still put to sleep. So... save Yulia. And the way to do that is to probably tactical retreat. Oh, that's a mistake. Oh, he just made a big mistake. Did he not realize that there was that immunity to stun? He applied cannot be healed on Yusuke though. But I think he's in trouble. kill Yulia right now, right? Then you have the opportunity to kill Bozol as well. Oh wow, that action was iffy. So iffy. As I was saying, save Yulia was the action to take. So I would have said tactical retreat, pull Yulia back to safety. But now it's... Whew. If Yusuke could be put to sleep, then that was indeed the right action. But Yusuke could not be put to sleep just now, because he had the mass resist from Sophia. That was late. That was really late. I mean, Bozol is pulled to safety now, I suppose, but huh. And Zerda is going to suffer from what I was saying, right? She constantly now has to activate Faction Buff, then Bloodthirster, then Killing Blow. It's a 3-turn action for Assassination. It should be a 2-turn action. Bloodthirster, Killing Blow. Bloodthirster, Killing Blow. Rely on Sophia for the Faction Buff. I really, really disagree with this Zerda build. So, and that may actually be the difference in allowing DesuLife to win this battle. It's going to be interesting though, because I just think keeping Bozol alive better than keeping Yulia alive may be the other action that really screws up DesuLife. Let's see what happens. I mean, I actually think DesuLife is probably at a bit of a disadvantage right now, truthfully. But you never know, with the right debuffs from Bozol, things can change. Like that. He got the silence. Now things change yet again. Actually, I take that back. Looks like DesuLife will probably win. Cannot be healed on Yusuke. Cannot be healed on Zerda. And silence on Zerda. Right? Suddenly, situations in a situation where, yes, his tank is unkillable, but all his damage dealers can't work. Let's just change to the next song. Yeah. This is very, very interesting, I have to say. That Bozol debuffs were pretty big. Of course, what would have made it even better was if Landius got mobility debuffed. So the Blood Pact has some advantages, that's for sure. But the disadvantages is that it can get mobility debuffed and then it can't guard. So we're seeing the DesuLife AoE debuffs really kicking in. Also interesting to see there just now is Sage of the Trees is running Vidar's Rose instead of a Holy Ring. It's not a bad option, you know. It's just a more offensive option. I inherently kind of like the defensive anti-silence effects, but DesuLife clearly prefers the more aggressive options. of dispelling buffs. Can't say it's wrong. Yep. And now Zerda cannot activate Bloodthirster, as a side note, and so she can't really assassinate anyone. And in the first place, with this character positioning, where can Zerda go to get... I mean, she can move down here, I guess? To avoid? Interesting question is, does Zerda have her exclusive, or does she have the King's Crown? If she has her exclusive, she can at least dispel some of those debuffs on her. So if she gets lucky, she can maybe remove the silence or whatever. But wow. Yeah, some clutch debuffs from Bozo just now. And it's a King's Crown. So the King's Crown choice is also going to screw the situation over. Right? No chance of dispelling these debuffs. Yeah, side note, Zerda is a very interesting choice for her helmet, right? Because the King's Crown can buff allies, but her exclusive can dispel debuffs and heal her. So the helmet choice on Zerda is also a tough pick. Overall, I just feel like Situation Zerda is a complete mess. That's my personal opinion. I would have preferred, Sly Stride over Faction Buff, and I would have preferred her exclusive over King's Crown. Those things could have allowed Situation to potentially win this match, and it's just not happening right now. I really think Situation is screwed. Situation is trying to hog all the center tiles now, right? But I'm pretty sure DesuLife can kill. Right? Bozol has 1,727 ins. Bozol will single target strike and finish off this Landius. No problem. Just move over here. One, two, three, four, five, and an attack. And then Landius will guard. So this Bozo just moves here to attack. Yeah, there we go. And goodbye, Landius. First life gone. And then Weiler should be able to finish off the second life. Should. I'm actually not quite sure just how tanky these 20% Templar Knights are. But I'm pretty sure Weiler will finish it off. If Weiler does a single target strike here. So there we go. Interesting. He didn't choose to go for the kill. Oh, because he didn't have to. DesuLife is moving first. If I were DesuLife, just have Landius guard here. Guard everybody. Just activate Peace of Mind right here, and everybody's guarded. Actually, there's tons of options for DesuLife. If sleep is available, he can put Yusuke to sleep, right? Guard everyone is another option. it's not a big deal if Waller dies at this point, because Waller would activate the high stakes buff on everybody. You can even have Hobo finish off this Landius, for example. So tons of choices. Interesting. He chose an action that I didn't expect. Of all the actions, I'm not sure why that one was the choice. That was silly. That was really silly. Literally, DesuLife just kills the tank and then kills off Zerda. Oh, that was perfect. The pushback, Yusuke is dead. Right? Yusuke can't move into safety now. And because Zerda is knocked out of Landius' guard range, she's dead too. GG, DesuLife wins. Oh, that was interesting. Look at that. By killing himself, Yusuke went from -2 mobility to 5. Won't change this battle, but it was interesting. And actually, what Yusuke can do right now is charge in here and prevent Zerda from getting attacked, as a side note. Yep. There it is. Cannot be healed on Landius. I'm going to laugh though if Bozo does have a sleep skill, because then DesuLife totally misplayed this turn. Not that it would have made a difference, but if Bozo has a sleep skill, he really should have started by putting Yusuke to sleep and then going from there. But it doesn't seem like he does. If he did, he would have used it instead of launching out a single target strike on Sophia. I mean, at the end of the day, what has happened is DesuLife has seized such an advantage at this point that even if he makes mistakes, he's not going to lose. Or shouldn't lose. That was interesting. So Zerda is dead, right? With 3 movements and all the tiles blocked. Well, yeah, dead. Dead. He'll get off an attack on someone, like maybe, for example, melee attack and take out Waller or something. But she's gone. As far as I know, when you attack, you don't get to move off the tile into safety. You just die in the poison right away before you get to move forward. Insult to injury! Look at that. Bloodlight magic armor activation totally stops the Yusuke damage. Oh, there's a sleep. So the sleep came 1 turn late. There's the Waller kill. And the death. Yep. And then Landius will probably attack Sophia. Oh, not quite enough damage to kill. Interesting. And DesuLife. Earthquake. And there's the concede. Okay. So there we go. Basically went exactly as I expected. You know, DesuLife just dominated more or less. So I get a bunch of gold, don't I? Let's take a look. Hey, 2.12 million. Not bad, not bad. I'll grab it. Alright, I can certainly take a look at that maybe match, whatever. I don't turn on banter for that very reason, because I don't really want to see what people say. Free money. He's Asian, surprise. Nitro is our little PogChamp. Yeah, whatever. Let's see. So this is 1-1. I'm a meme. I am not waifu material. Volley Nitro, good god. Yeah, this is exactly why I don't turn on banter, guys. I don't really want to see the comments from players. So, actually, let's take a look at what this battle is. Yeah, I never said I was free to play. I mean, I was free to play initially, but I'm not free to play anymore. I haven't been free to play for a year now. I was free to play for like the first 10 months. Since then, not anymore. I've been pretty open about that. FAP to play, good god. Okay, so let's actually focus on the battle. So Ares died, Alestral died, Reen died. How did that happen? I mean, this battle looks pretty over to me. Zerda can't assassinate anyone on this team. Well, actually, Zerda might be able to assassinate Liana. Okay, that's the interesting thing. Never mind. The reason why I was saying she might be able to assassinate Liana was because I was expecting Twilight Star. Okay, but that didn't happen. So it was game over. If it had Twilight Star, right, since that was a Mage Liana, Twilight Star would do some fixed damage, breaking the Shrine Maiden heal. But there was no Twilight Star on Zerda, and so Liana took 25% damage and just laughed that off. Well, so much for that. But you know, at least let's uninstall Nuhi was beat. So let's take a look at the last two, maybe. Take a quick glimpse at it. Oh, they're still doing pick ban here? Wow. Okay. One more match to look over, I suppose. But let's take a look at the other match quickly then. Will underscore against Chinese name. This match also started. So both of these matches are just beginning pretty much. Let's see, Wilder, Landius, Hobo, Rachel, and Licorice. Okay. And on the other side is a very similar team, except it has 2 healers rather than 3 AoEs. I like Will Underscore's team more than I like his team actually, simply because of Licorice. Right? Licorice, or sorry, Sophia provides the faction buff. Licorice can then get rewind and so on. Interesting, this ritual is single target strike. So Will Underscore is trying to take out Landius? That's interesting. Not what I expected. Yeah, I guess both Rachels are built like that. Single target strike Rachels. Interestingly enough, this is how I personally build my Licorice, by the way. I like to bring Demonic Event, Dark Despair, and Mass Seal, as opposed to bringing Dark Despair with Dark Dragon's Breath. Just a personal preference there. Interesting that both sides brought high stakes, given the AoEs that exist, right? I mean, Will Underscore can actually potentially use high stakes because he does have a second healer, but I don't think he has any opportunity to. If he ever activates high stakes, he's probably going to get killed by the AoEs of Will Underscore. So, I don't know. I mean, my suspicion is Will Underscore wins this fight. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. The one thing I don't like what Will Underscore didn't do was he ended up bringing Landius with faction buff and Peace of Mind. Makes no sense. Replace the faction buff with Rout, right? Because you have Sophia to provide the effective faction buff effects, right? You're getting 30% defense, 15% attack, 20% magic defense from Sophia. So don't bring a faction buff, and instead bring Rout. You can knock the enemy Landius back and stun him, for example, and expose the other characters for killing. Anyways, whatever. That's not something that a lot of people know of. It's the reason why I like Sophia so much, because you don't have to run the faction buff on Landius. But yeah, it's not exactly it's such a minor thing that people don't often do that I can understand why he made that mistake. Anyways, I'll take a look at the other fight. So actually, Gall 1, Igten 1, DesuLife, and yeah. Let's take a look at this one and see how it continues to play out. Ooh. They've already gotten into combat, looks like. Wow. RIP! Really? Why did that even happen? You had Landius as your tank, and you let Ares get attacked by Deedlit. Seriously? Wow. Well, regardless, looking at these teams, I would say Lucid won. Right? With Green, and especially now that Deedlit killed off Ares. Actually, I may be speaking too soon. Because Juggler, if Juggler disables Landius' guard... No, he's screwed. I think he really is screwed. Why waste route there? I guess you stun him so you can get guaranteed a kill? Yeah, okay, fair enough. Then the construct or whatever, or Gizzard off. But that was ugly. Is he going to ultimate construct here? Nope. So he'll finish it off with Wilder. Wow, I jumped in at a good time at least. Oh, that was an... Oh no! This juggler can't jump over here. Wait, if she moves 1, 2, 3, 1, 2... Wow. This is gonna be tough. Yeah, I would say Lucid has a huge advantage. Side note, Lucid runs Bozo like I do. Right? Faction buff with Black Hole with Sleep. Oddly enough, I'm not sure that's the best choice in this fight, given Bozo is only buffing himself here. Right? This is actually a situation where I may choose to instead have Bozo bring... not bring the faction buff. My usual thought for Bozo with faction buff is if he's buffing someone else, you bring it. If he's not buffing anyone else, you might choose not to bring it. Anyways. Yeah, this is iffy. This is really iffy because this Wilder does not have mass heal or dispel. Countering Reen in this kind of battle is... I don't think there is a counter for Reen in this kind of problem with this kind of setup on your Wilder. Right? If Wilder had the... I mean... Yeah, if Wilder had mass heal, she could have removed both of these debuffs. But Wilder has regroup and tactical retreat. This is... the Londo. Yeah, I think Lucid has a massive advantage on this battle now. What a waste of a jump. Why does he have so little stats? After a jump, isn't he supposed to have extremely high stats? Why does this juggler have bullshit? Wait. Why does this juggler only have 1673 attack? What the heck is going on? It's in water. I don't understand why this juggler has such crap stats. And since Lucid brought routes, there's the pushback as well. Oh, it's because of this. Nullifies passives. By nullifying the passive of conversion. That's why. Yeah, passive block. Yeah, Zycro got screwed. Totally screwed. I mean, he was already screwed when Ares was killed, but this is just mop up for Lucid now. So, let's just jump out of this one. Wow, passive block, yeah. That was interesting. Let's watch the other one instead. Poor guy. That's all you can say. So what's happened here? Will underscore has killed off Landius for player 1. Ooh, clocks triggers on Dark Despair. Yeah, I mean, this one's also over. If Will underscore has already killed off the enemy tank, this should be over. Unless he's losing his own tank, but I don't think he will. I mean, we can watch this and see what happens here, but there's a 3-range Rachel strike to try to kill Lando. Yep. It is interesting that both of them are running Templar Knights with Landius like this, given that they know they're facing Rachel. But anyways. And it's also interesting that he didn't choose to try to kill the enemy Rachel. But I mean, I don't use Rachel, so I'm guessing maybe Rachel can't kill Rachel at 3 range because the sorceresses have too much magic defense. Right? As long as they have the Desperate Prayer, they're probably unkillable, is what I'm guessing. Both sides launching out more AoEs, Dark Despairs, right? Oh no, that was the clock. Did Will just activate clocks again on Licorice for a 3rd Dark Despair? Seriously, rip. But he didn't apply any cannot be healed debuffs. So that could still lead to, Landius dying and whatnot. So let's see what happens. The most, alright, fair enough. I mean, as I said, I don't really use Rachel, so you could very much be right. I'm not sure that was a good idea. You just re-triggered Desperate Prayer for 3 more turns. This is where, side note, this is why I like Licorice with Mass Heal. Because Mass Heal can be used every other turn to keep replacing the terrain. Right? But in this game, Will underscore kept activating clocks on Dark Despair. So with the constant clocks activation, it doesn't even matter. But that said, I don't understand why kill Waller there. I mean, yes, the others had Desperate Prayer, but why kill Waller? Could have waited 1 more turn and then wiped out these characters first before dealing with Waller. That was a very weird action. And it might actually change this fight. So I'll watch the rest of this. That Waller kill gives the Chinese player more time to attack. And that may lead to a situation where he gets screwed. We'll see. Right? Nope, never mind. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, last turn, instead of killing off Waller, he could have killed off Licorice first. And then after Licorice, maybe get rid of Rachel. There was no need to kill off Waller there. Anyways, I mean, he's still killing off all the characters one by one with Landius, so it is over. This is 5 against 2 now. I'm not sure why he's continuing the fight. No, the map, I mean, if the poison was closer, the 5v2 might have been workable with the, with those 6 tiles, but totally isn't in this situation. Oh, there's a cannot be healed on League of the Trees now. So Will underscore can do whatever he wants to win this fight. Congrats to him. There's the concede. So that went as expected. Right? And the very final battle. So what has happened here? Well, Juggler also died, right? And now Wilder also died. So it's 4 against 2. And Gizarov also has cannot be healed on himself. Totally wrecked. Oh, ultimate constructs. You can't seriously expect this to make a comeback though. Hey, he didn't get cannot be healed. So he can attack and heal up a bit. Yep. But he still dies. So there we go. Done as well. There you go. DesuLife win. Yo Asobi? I don't know. Ig10, Will underscore. Maybes, Auto Run, Lucid, Crossley, and Gal. We have our top 8. So I guess I'll do more streaming tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. And that will be it for today.